be able to take her out so easily. God, he's jinxing himself so hard right now. You're jinxing me right now! Stop it, Ren!
Huh?
Right as I was thinking that,
なんだあれ。
diagonally across from us on the sidewalk on the opposite side of the crosswalk was a rather strange sight indeed.
路上パフォーマン
It's the
スじゃ
murder.
ないよね。
It's the murder. Fuck! Asumi had noticed it too. A man, probably a foreigner, was making a bit of a scene. His uncomfortably long blonde hair stuck out like a sore thumb even from this distance. He was attempting to ask something from every single person coming down the street, but none of them would so much give him the time of day. Instead of taking the hint, he just kept trying to engage them. It was painful to watch.
やだ、寄らないでよ、変態バッチー。
待ってくださいお嬢さん。お願いですから私の話をってズッガーン。
気安く触らないでよ、この強姦魔。やだ、なんでまたついてくるの？気持ち悪い、助けて、いや
ー。ドガンズガバキバキガッシャーン。
みたいな感じ？
Yeah. Sure, why not? Totally normal.
多分。
Yup! Basically, we were able to envision the sort of response he was getting just by watching from a distance. And there he went again.
今のあれ絶対痛いよ。
What?
大丈夫かな、あの人。ゴミ箱に頭から突っ込んでるけど。
That's fucked up, man!
すごい、もう羽起きた。
Oh, never mind.
タフなやつだな。
Seemed everyone had enough of the spectacle. The surrounding onlookers started to leave. Soon enough, the foreigner was left standing there all by his lonesome self. Combined with the fact that the guy was built like a twig, it seemed like a gust of wind was gonna blow him away or any second. The whole situation made me want to feel sorry for the guy, but his treatment was understandable. He picked up the wrong time to try and get people's attention. Everyone was on edge from the serial murderers. There's no way they were going to no way were they going to, oh my god, no way they gonna be, what the fuck? No way were they gonna be willing to sit there and chat with a suspicious looking foreigner on the side of the road. Honestly, it was surprising that no one had called the police on him. Who knows what he wanted to accomplish, but it clearly wasn't happening. His best option was to get out of here before the cops should show up.
Hey, mister!
Hold your goddamn horses.
カモンじゃあ失礼。ねえ、英語で敬語っていうか、丁寧語ってどうするの？
Did you say excuse me? Come on! Hey! I'm talking to you! Hello? It's probably like that, right?
知るかよ。てかお前何やってんだよ。
What are you doing?
何って、あの人かわいそうじゃない。それに、このままじゃ日本人が嫌われちゃうよ。
I'm sure he'd be hated everywhere else.
またそれかよ。
No one greets strangers on the streets like saying, come on. Why was she so worried about her pride as a people or whatever? Last I checked, Kasumi hadn't been appointed the sole ambassador of the Japanese nation.
Hey! Come here!
Now it sounds like she's trying to pick him up.
あ
Whatever. I was done trying to babysit her. He must have heard Kasumi's love call. Yup. Because the foreigner straightened up and began looking around the area. Our eyes met.
おい、大丈夫かあの外国人。
Started staggering our way, his feet unsteady but his path certain. Must have failed to take notice of the crosswalk and traffic lights as he cut right across the street. Drivers were honking and cursing at him the entire way. This guy didn't seem to disrupt the tool in the shed. As he prepared to grab Kasumi's arm and run if things got sketchy, the blonde foreigner finally made his way over to us. Oh, it's this guy. Guy was huge. At least 190 centimeters if I had guessed. 190 centimeters. God. Oh. 190 centimeters is 6'2". 6'3" ish. Wow, that's tall. I don't know. I'm like 5'10" ish. 5'11". It's not too tall. Like normal American size, I think. Like I said, he was scrawny as a twig, so despite him towering over me, he didn't give off an intimidating presence or anything.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you!
Do you have the trouble? In that case, shall we service?
That's the wrong words to use. But it's good, it's good. I'm gonna give her B+.
で、よかったっけ?
It almost sounded like she was talking to me. Yeah, B+, B+.
大体は
Okay, Ren's not good at the English language either, but we're just gonna give them a passing grade. Asumi tried to communicate with shaky English. Unfortunately for her, her efforts were likely wasted.
もしかして氷室先輩とこのお客さん?
Oh, that's possible.
神父だろ?
He was wearing a cassock and a rosary. You didn't get much more priest-like than that. If this was the guy Himuro had mentioned during lunch break then.
日本語わかる?
ええ、そちらのお嬢さんのお心遣いが嬉しくて言い出しそびれてしまいましたが。
Holy shit, that's amazing.
申し訳ありません。私はむしろ英語の方が苦手なんです。いえ、わからないというわけではないんですがね。
My theory was correct. The priest responded in fluent Japanese, prompting Kasumi's eyes to widen.
そうなんですか? やだ、私ったらバカみたい。
She gave it a try though.
いえいえ、あなたの優しさには感謝していますよ。相変わらずこの国の方々はお優しい。
He smiled the sort of smile you'd see in a priest textbook. Kasumi's face went beet red, so I couldn't see what she had to be embarrassed about.
いえ、そんな。でも、大丈夫ですか? なんか殴られたりしてましたけど。
Punches?
ああ、あれは私が悪いのですよ。どうも宗教の勧誘と間違えられたらしい。こちらの配慮が足りなかった。
いやでも、殴られた方が悪いっていうのは。
No, if there was a telemarketer or some guy advertising or some guy going praise Jesus all the time and trying to get my attention up like 24/7, just like a random stranger, I would be pissed. I'd probably ignore them, definitely not physically assault them, but God, that would ruin my day. Like physically trying to get your attention and stuff. Nope, nope, nope.
大丈夫です。私、ああいうのは慣れてますから。
What?
はあ。
慣れてるね。
Used to it. Yup. I almost asked him if he was some sort of masochist, but I decided not to in front of Kasumi. Besides, you had to be a masochist on some level to end up as a religious practitioner.
で、神父さん、お名前は?
That's supposed to mean Ren.
このお優しいお嬢さんが綾瀬かすみで、俺は藤井蓮。氷室先輩の、つまり後輩なんだけど。
ああ、そうでしたね。申し訳ありません。どうにも私抜けていまして。
They're going to assume that this guy knows Himuro. And just gonna trust a stranger. Okay, sure, why not? Could be an imposter, could be a guy just dressing up as a fanatic. Could be the murderer for all they know, but no, they're just gonna trust a stranger, fuck it. Even there's news of a murder happening for the last 3 days. But fuck it, we're just gonna trust this guy.
トリファー。バレリア・トリファーと言います。ご推察の通り、神父なのですが。
でも、
道がわからなくて迷ったと。
お恥ずかしい話ですが、その通りです。どうも私の土地勘など、すでになくなっていたようでして。
Father Triffa scratched his cheek with a defeated smile. Judging from our conversation so far, this was the sort of guy who wouldn't harm a fly. Kasumi seemed to share my impression.
土地勘って前にもこの町に来たことがあるんですか？
1,000 years ago.
ええ、随分と昔ですが、あの頃とはだいぶ様変わりしていて驚きましたよ。漠然とした記憶だけじゃ役に立たなかったようですね。
Or rather 50 years ago.
そりゃここはそういう町だし。
I didn't know how long ago he meant, but assuming 10 years, it was only natural that he was surprised. That was right about when Suharu's development picked up. It was only natural that current situation would progress as it did.
だったら私たちが教会までお連れしますよ。ね、レン。
These dumbass high schoolers.
ああ。
ね。
Why would you trust a random guy? Just based on assumption. Just fuck it. I knew all too well that nothing could stop Kasumi once her engine got fired up.
オーケー、了解。
おお、それは本当ですか？
That face.
もちろんですよ。
ああ、なんという慈悲、なんという愛。この巡り合わせこそ主のお導きに違いない。お嬢さん、もしあなたは天使様では？
ないない、それ絶対ない。
Father Triffa was beside himself with gratitude, but yeah, if Kasumi was an angel, then I was the supreme god of the multiverse.
いや、もう冗談抜きで泣きそうだったとこなんですよ。私の同僚にも女性はいますが、みんなとても怖い人たちばかりでしてね。やっぱり女性は優しいのが一番です。
いや、それほどでも。
ないなら照れるなよ、気色悪い。
うるさいよね、さっきから。何か文句があるとでも。ってふふん、なるほどなるほど。
He thinks Ren's jealous.
あんたもしかして焼いてるでしょ。
Yep, knew it. Yep. Come again.
うんうん、わかるよ、その気持ち。でもね、いつも何考えてるかわからない男よりこうストレートに気持ちを伝えてくれる人の方が嬉しいっていうか、安らぐっていうか、信用できるっていうのかな。とにかく男の嫉妬はみっともないからやめようね。でもたまにだったらそれも結構嬉しいぞ。
Oh my god. What was she getting so happy about? Alright, whatever.
神父さん、教会に行くんだろ。連れてってやるから早く行こう。
はあ、ですがそちらはよろしいんでしょうか？
I'm sure it's fine. Next to me, Kasumi, smiling from ear to ear, persisted with her nonsense. As I couldn't even understand 10% of what she was saying, I concluded it to have some sort of alien language.
たまに電波受信する病気なんだよ。放置してればすぐ治るから気にしないでさっさと行こう。
いや、しかし女性を置き去りにするというのもですね。
大丈夫、こいついろんな意味で女じゃないから。
だからね、私思うに焼きもち焼かないやつは可愛くないっていうか、張り合いがないっていうか、つまんないのね。だからってわざと焼かせようとかそういうことはしないけど。
Oh my god.
なんて言ったらいいのかな。
Oh my god.
つまり
Oh my god.
つまり
Sorry. In other words, yeah, I was right to dub her a complete idiot all those years ago. As such, I figured there'd be no objections to just leaving her here. Either way, after all that, we ended up heading towards the church. Incidentally, Kasumi was so pissed at being left behind that she shot a nigh unbearable torrent of complaints at me. But the conversation was so annoying, though its detail hardly mattered. More importantly, while Father Trifa did seem a bit too laid back, the meek atmosphere exuding from his whole being truly was befitting of a priest. He was the kind of person you couldn't help but want to tease, but also the type that women and children were easily fond of. Though he seemed irresolute to guys like me, it was probably not enough to come off as unpleasant. With his well-ordained but not exactly gaudy appearance, meek tone, and somewhat unreliable impression, the image was perfect. Had it not been for the recent serial killings, he would have been treated much better. I wouldn't say we were close or anything, but I could sense a kind of natural virtue from him. In other words, to be frank, I had a decent enough impression of the man, despite having just met him. It was rare for me to say it so bluntly. Considering how even I was feeling that way, Kasumi seemed to have taken a liking to him as well. Naturally. It then hit me that the depression we were feeling up until we met the priest had long since dispersed. He managed to get rid of the pressure in my heart without any confessions or sermons. So he must have been quite the clergyman. While I busied myself with such thoughts, occasionally stealing a glance or two at the priest, we ended up arriving at our destination.
ここでいいんでしょ?
This is a nice place. This was the only church in town. I didn't really know its official name, but Himuro lived there.
レアさん、いるかな？
そりゃいるだろう。お客が来るから早く帰るとか言ってたし。
Watch. Her guest is already at church. And they're gonna be like, oh shit, who is this guy?
神父さんは先輩の身内なんだろ?
Oops.
身内というほどでもないですが、少なくとも私は彼女、テレジアのことをよく知っていますよ。
テレジア？
何それ?
Hearing that unfamiliar name prompted both me and Kasumi to tilt our heads in confusion.
ああ、失礼。今のは彼女の洗礼名です。
There it is.
テレジア。彼女の誕生は私を含めた大勢にとって希望そのものでしたから、その感謝を込めてお送りした名前なんです。
ってことは、神父様がレアさんの名付け親？
What?
そうなりますかね。彼女にとっては迷惑千万だったかもしれませんが。
そんなことないと思いますけど。でもだったら今の名前は。
そうですね。便宜上日本語向きに変えたものです。
I mean, she is part German, right? Like a 30% German, or you said quarter, so 25%-ish?
そっかー。ねえ、なんかいいこと聞いちゃったね。
Give or take.
どうしたの？
いや。
Thank you! Thank you! Something felt a bit off. Looking at the priest, he seemed to be in his early 30s at most. Could he really have become Himuro's godfather? He had to be no more than a child at the time.
しかし、こうしてここに来ると思い出してしまいますね。私とリザ。ここのシスターですが。一緒になってテレジアの世話をしたものです。なかなか彼女はおてんばでしてね。まだ立ち上がれもしないうちから、ちょっと目を離すとすぐどこかへ行ってしまうような女の子でした。私たちが必死になって探してみれば、マリア様の下で気持ちよさそうに寝ていたりとか。いやはや、全く手を焼きましたよ。
そうなんですか。なんか想像できないですね。
ほう。だったら今のテレジアは立派な女性になったんでしょうね。そのあたり、どうなんですか、藤井さん。
Oh god. Kasumi and the priest continued talking cheerfully, not paying attention to my puzzled look.
まさか、グレて悪い子になっちゃったりしたってことは。
I mean, she's kind of weird, but in a good way.
いえ、そんなことはないですから。ちょっとあんた、神父様を不安にさせちゃダメじゃない。
I got scolded. Well, he did look like a worrywart. In that sense, maybe he was older than he looked. Foreigners' ages were hard to tell from a glance anyway.
ちょっと変わってるっちゃ変わってるけど、いい人ですよ。面白いし。
Oh my god, he said exactly what I said.
あれで結構コアなファンとかついてるみたいで。
What?
そうなの？
Really?
そうだよ。
Really? I sincerely hoped Kasumi realized that acting surprised only made it sound like a lie.
一応人気者の部類には入るんじゃないかと。だから心配しなくても大丈夫。いや、むしろ心配するだけ無駄みたいな。
そうですか。それを聞いて安心しました。恥ずかしながら、彼女には親にも似た感情を持っているものでしてね。きっと将来は美人さんになるだろうと信じて疑いませんでしたが、いや、そうですかそうですか。
まあ有名なのは確かだけど。
I mean, she does has white hair, but other than that, seems normal. Famous, yeah, as in 1/4 German, 3/4 Japanese girl with a few screws loose who lived in the church. So she is 25% around, give or take. Though even the most moderate of people who have agreed that she qualified as a beauty. She could probably receive the title of the true Miss Tsukinowasawa. Tsukinowasawa on that aspect alone. What the? I don't even know what that is. Is that like Miss Japan in Japan? I don't.
なあ、表ミス。
はい。
According to the results of a popularity contest carried out each year by the boys of the school, this girl was the public Miss Tsukinosawa, while Himuro was the secret one. Personally, I thought they all needed glasses, but none of that really mattered now.
とにかくここまで来たんだし、話し込んでないでさっさと中に入ろうぜ。愛しのテレジアに早く会いたいだろ、神父さんも。
それはもう当然です。まだ幼かった彼女を残してここを去るとき、身も世もなく泣かれましてね。私も一緒になって泣いたんですが、結局リザから叩き出されてしまいましたよ。
That is quite the image.
あなたの目はなんだか危ないとか、そんな失礼極まる理由でです。
All for the reasons because my eyes looked somewhat dangerous.
まったく、あの方は私を何だと思ってやがるんでしょうかね。よりによって10年以上もメキシコの辺境に飛ばされるとはさすがに予想しませんでしたよ。
Mexico?
しかしですね、こうして帰ってきた以上はもう彼女の好きにはさせません。
Oh boy.
今後は
テレジアをお風呂に入れてあげましょう。とか。ど
Okay.
うせそんなことを考えていらっしゃるんでしょ。
That's a
あなた
little
は。
weird. No. Wait, they're married?
もちろんですってえ
A female voice interrupted Father Trifa out of nowhere, prompting the priest to completely freeze up.
おかえりなさい、神父バレリア。相変わらず愉快なお話を熱動するのがお好きですね。なかなか楽しませていただきましたよ。
Wow, she looks beautiful. Uh-oh.
いや
Oh. Oh no.
あら、どうなされたんですか、神父様。お顔の色が優れませんね。よければお薬を差し上げますけど。
結構です。いや本当に。
Aha.
それでつかぬことを伺いますが、一体どのあたりから私の話を。
そうですね。結局リザから叩き出されてしまいましたのあたりでしょうか。
This must be Lisa. Yep. There's that there.
まったく人聞きの悪いことを言わないでくださいませんか。私はただレアの身の安全を憂慮しただけなんですけど。
This guy a giant pervert. Sister Lisa approached this pale, shrinking Father Trifa with a wide grin. Definitely looked like she was enjoying this.
ねえ、あのシスターってあんな感じの人だったっけ。
多分こっちの方が素なんだろ
Yeah. Gabriel said she was resting, but Sister Lisa came off lively, if anything, and her F cups are more than I could ever have managed. Wait, what? And their F cups were more than I ever could have imagined.
ですから残念ながら神父様、レアとお風呂は諦めてくださいまし
Ren
ね。
likes the big boobies.
あなたもおっしゃっていたように、彼女はもう淑女なので。それにそもそも、
私、別に泣いたりしてない。泣いたのは、私にお風呂を断られたそっちの方だけ。
Wow. All right, Skrifa, you got something to say to that?
そんなことはないでしょう、テレジア。
Oh God.
あーちょっと待って
That's what this guy is. That's what this guy is. Oh.
つまりこの人が追い出されたのはそれまで一緒に風呂入ってた先輩に断られたのが原因だと
ああ、なるほど。よく聞くタイプの話だね。ご愁傷様。
Don't say my condolences. That is not something you give your condolences for.
女の子は大人になるのが早いんですよ。神父バレリア。
ということだから、いつまでも恥ずかしいことをやってないで早く中に入りなさい。藤井君と綾瀬さんも一緒にどう？私たちもいいんですか？
もちろん、手のかかる人のおもりで大変だったでしょ。夕食の用意もできてるわよ。
Food.
どうする？レイ。
Hell yeah.
別に断る理由もないけど
Yes.
あなた方は揃いも揃ってなぜ男の純情を分かってくださらないのですか。
That is. I don't know what to say to that statement. Like speechless.
藤井さん、あなたなら私の気持ちを理解していただけますよね。以前はお嫁さんになるとまで言ってくれた愛娘から手のひら返したように冷たくされるこの切なさが。
Gotta be a Japanese childhood thing, right? When the really little girl's like, I wanna be your bride, and something like that. When she's like 3, and then she grows up, she's like, that's something I said when I was little. I didn't actually mean that. Probably meant it at the time, but probably didn't fully understand it. Oh boy.
いや別に俺娘と風呂入りたいとか思わないし
Oh Jesus. Thank you, Ren. Voice of reason. Besides, it wasn't like I even had a daughter to begin with. Or a wife.
おお、なんたる無知、なんたる罪。神よ、この哀れな少年を許したまえ。彼は何も分かっていないだけなのです。
Guys, this guy is a priest.
遠慮しないで。ぶっ飛ばしていいから。
Is that why people are punching him in the streets?
右の方を打たれたら左の方を差し出すのが好きな人よ。
Hey. That wasn't really it. More like... Had it not been for the recent serial killings, would he have been treated much better? I wouldn't say we were close or anything, but I could sense a kind of natural virtue from him. Seems like I needed glasses too. I couldn't help feeling somewhat depressed by this sudden revelation. So, after we took them up on their offer for dinner and